First of all, Raji, you're not Jeff Bezos. You're Kim Jong-un, okay?
But Ben attacking my character, Bo attacking my
You
character,
were lying. You were
and
lying.
Thomas Smith.
I don't respect that.
At the end of the day, you gotta find inefficiencies in the market. That's how you make money.
And welcome back to another episode of the Extreme Oakland 12 podcast. This is probably the most anticipated podcast of the year. With me today, I got Ben, Cooper, Jake, Austin. And there's a couple members who have been in podcasts before, but they aren't in this one. And we'll be talking about why that might be in a little bit. But to start off, we're going to talk about some trades. This is a big week with trades here. We had, I think, 3 trades go down.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, big ones too. Big players involved. So we're going to start it off here with the one that started.
And I'd like to get a little note in just so the viewers have an idea. These trades have sparked some serious controversy in our league. We had a couple people whine and cry and leave the group chat. So we're going to have to bring that in as well.
Absolutely. So the trade that started it all on Wednesday was between Ben, who's in here, and then a member who left the league, Bo. Left the league as far as communication with us, but he'll probably finish the year out. But we got a trade where Ben traded Mark Ingram and Doug Baldwin, 2 big names at the start of the season, second and third round picks, or I guess a little later for Mark Ingram because he was suspended. But he traded them for Carlos Hyde and TJ Yeldon.
Yes, I did, boys and girls.
Let me start this off.
So my team has obviously had struggled this year. I'm 1-4. My depth is. I had a lot of depth, but everyone was hurt. I had Ingram. I drafted him, suspended, so no excuse there. But I needed running back production immediately, and I was about to drop to 1-5, which still might happen, unfortunately. But I've been talking with Bo multiple weeks to try to get Yeldon. I was trying to get that cuff because I knew Fournette's injury was going to have me out for a while. So literally talked to Bo for 2 weeks. This was the worst man to trade with in the world. I offered him plenty. I mean, he doesn't really need to make a trade. His team was so stacked. But I needed instant help, so I did trade Ingram and Baldwin, who's done nothing so far this year, for 2 guys.
Until today.
2 guys that dropped the ball hardcore today. It was a money ball game. I had to erase the names. I know Ingram's still going to ball, but I think Hyde was a consistent RB2. And I mean, today both those guys played from behind, so it didn't show. They never ran the ball today. So they dropped 7 and 3. So, I mean, definitely, I think Bo long-term has the benefit of the trade, but, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was that bad.
TJ Yeldon had 8 attempts today, and if he's the so-called star back, that's not the workload you'd like to see. And then Carlos Hyde getting 3.4 on 14 carries, no receptions.
Yeah.
What?
That's fair.
I'm not so sure about the no carry comments, considering he had 14 touches.
He had 14 touches, and then what did they do the rest of the game? They had to pass the ball because of the Browns.
They got rid of the guy who had 1.9 yards per carry.
Who, Hyde?
Well, 2.1,
Yeah, exactly.
sorry.
No, he's still – dude, he's obviously touchdown dependent, but that offense is so terrible, they don't, have big plays, so they always just march on the field.
The craziest thing, though, is he's had every game but today with over 15 carries, and 3 of those over 22 carries are over, and he's never at 100 yards.
100% was my original trade was Hyde and Yeldon for Ingram straight up, but he was bitching so much about bye weeks, and then he wanted to be Jake bad, and I was like, dude, I need to make this deal happen, so I threw in Baldwin at the end. And that was obviously a horrible choice, but I was like, I had to make the trade happen, and I think Fournette's going to be out till week 10, so.
I just want to say, I offered you Melvin Ingram in a trade at one point, and this dude might be, besides Todd Gurley, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, but you also asked for my whole receiving core, and I couldn't gut my squad.
And I gutted Smith for less than Melvin.
That is true. That is true.
Tyler Eisman is now the gutter, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, so the reason that's a nickname we're hearing is because a trade that went down after that, very shortly after, I think, the next day, I was able to snag from 3-time back-to-back champions Smith, Corey Clement, Alshon Jeffrey, and Stephon Diggs. And I gave up Julio Jones, Sammy Watkins, and Kenyon Drake. And
Who?
right. I mean, this dude Kenyon Drake, I don't know why I had faith in him, to be honest. And I'm going to tell you how this went down, because it really, like, was not planning on doing this at all. I've been in contact with multiple managers about trades. And then out of nowhere, sitting there, I get an alert from Smith. And it's just him going, Clement and Alshon for Julio. And I was like, I mean, that's tempting because I knew, like, I mean, since I'm an Eagles fan, like, I know Alshon and Clement were going to be good. Like, they're getting all the targets right now. So I was thinking about it. But Julio, at the same time, obviously he's a beast. He still gets crazy numbers, just doesn't get touchdowns, as we see here. Another day today, he had like 143 yards, but no touchdowns, and 10 receptions, but no touchdowns. So he's just not that valuable in non-PPR.
And a lot of it has to do with the red zone for the Falcons. Like, their play calling.
Yeah, exactly. That, and I mean, even what's his name got hurt today. The dude who's been going off.
Yeah.
Plus, I'll also say other teams.
So Tyler, what'd you throw on the trade? What'd you throw on the trade?
So this is how it went down. It's actually, I sent him multiple trade offers, and then the one that he liked was, I was like, I'll do Sammy Watkins. Or I asked him what it would take to get Diggs too, and I was expecting a lot because he drafted Diggs early, and I was like, well, I was like, if I'm giving up Julio, and if Alshon's my number one, that's I can't do that with me being 2 and 3. And I was like, what's it gonna take to take Diggs or to get Diggs along with it? And he is like, he's like, I would definitely need Julio and then like some other starters. And so I was just like throwing random trades together. I think I threw like 3 or 4 together. And then the one he liked was, I said Sammy, Julio, and then I said Kenyon Drake, Lamar Miller, or like Kenyon Drake / Lamar Miller, like he could choose which one. Julio Jones, and then he could pick any of my receivers for those.
So he picked Watkins.
For those 3, he picked Watkins, wow,
That was even worse.
He picked Watkins, and I was like, all right, well then I'm probably gonna have to give you Drake instead of Lamar, and he was like, I can't do that, and I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, try to think of something else, and like I thought it was dead. Then literally out of nowhere, like I like texted him like something like, dude, like imagine you'd have Julio, like Todd Gurley, like you'd have like such a good like core strength right there. And then he was like, I know, dude, I'm thinking. And then like out of nowhere, he was like, oh, I like Julio too much, I got to do it. And then he accepted it.
So basically, you gave Sammy Watkins, Kenyon Drake, and Julio Jones, and you received Diggs, Clement, and Alshon Jeffrey.
Wow, yeah, and I mean, Alshon Jeffrey, like last game, like just to like show you how he did 8 receptions, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Clement, he's looking like the starting back. First game back off injury, he had 43 and a touchdown on 10 carries.
It's surprising too, because in this league, like Mark Ingram out most the beginning of the year, and Alshon Jeffrey, and the 2 managers that drafted those guys traded them immediately. Like, it's the day they came back.
That's a great point.
Cooper, that's a great point.
That won't happen when Le'Veon Bell comes back.
Will he though? You've been telling us that for a while now.
Yeah, until he's on the field, sites. I'm
and
not so sure.
That leads us into probably what.
That was
Tyler,
my biggest mistake.
Tyler, can
I will say in that trade.
Tyler, I'd like to make a few comments. I'd like to make a few comments before we move on though to those other trades, because it's going to actually play into my defense when people start throwing out slander. But first of all, when Ben made his trade with Bo, I said that was the most garbage trade I've ever seen. Now, I never said, oh, let's veto it. Blah, blah, blah. I said, that trade is trash. Ben, you got murdered by Bo, who was already a really good team. But I just didn't see Ben's logic. Carlos Hyde is averaging 3.5 yards per carry, and after today, that's probably more like 3.2. So he's going to get less touches moving forward. TJ Yeldon, you call that a freaking rental? Oh, my God. That guy is terrible.
All right, let me say something about this. Let me say something.
Leonard Fournette is coming back next week. Leonard Fournette. Let me finish. Leonard Fournette is coming back next week.
Oh, he's not.
So that is the worst
Let
rental
me say
I've ever
this.
seen. Next, Doug Baldwin, you traded 2 games after injury. What does he do today? Oh, he has 93 yards. He's back.
He had
All
like,
right. Well. Let me say something. Why this is completely false? Because we're looking at the time of the trade, not just what happened this Sunday that we all witnessed.
right.
At
That's
the time
why
of the trade,
Yeah, exactly.
Ben Ford was in a must-win, and Yeldon was coming off of 20 and 18 in fantasy points, looking as an RB1 type numbers. Also, Carlos Hyde was putting up RB1, RB2 numbers, 22, 14, and 7 in his last couple weeks. Mark Ingram could easily have just came back, and I thought he still could only get like 8 points, and Alvin Kamara could take over. They might have just used Mark Ingram so that he could get back into the game and get used to taking touches over Kamara. But they could easily. It easily could be a fair trade. It wasn't even close to veto.
Listen.
What?
Sites. So your quote was he's in a must-win, so he traded for a rental, right?
No, because the rental could be till week 10 at that time, and
Right.
Yeldon was playing like an RB1.
So he traded for a rent. So his trade was based on a rental.
Coming up.
You're ridiculous.
I'll remember that moving forward.
Raji, I'm with you. I know what you're saying.
No, that's
and you know what? You know what else? To move on to also talk, not move on. I'll let Ben talk. I'll let Ben speak. But I will say, Thomas Smith, Tyler Eisman made him a victim in that trade. That was worse than Ben's trade. I thought Ben's was horrible, and then I saw that. Oh my God, Thomas Smith is no longer going to win. I said this in the group chat. You literally threw out some corn in a field. Thomas Smith, he's a big buck, dude. He's got like 8 points on his horns. He's got 3 championships. He walks up to the corn. What does Tyler do, dude? He doesn't even shoot the deer. He runs out there and knifes it, cuts it open. He literally guts the deer. He takes all like the meat out of it, and Tyler's now eating it like for 4 days in a row. And now all Thomas Smith is some cooked venison.
So basically,
that was a bad trade, but
Julio Jones was the corn, and then Sammy Watkins and Kenyon Drake were like the scraps I gave him afterwards to the other animals.
Dude, yeah, they were like the corn that caught like the disease that the deer get.
Analogy of the century, knifed him.
Thank you. Yeah, he didn't even shoot it.
That was a horrible.
Tyler was out
trade.
there hunting, bro.
I don't know why Diggs is so valuable. I don't know why you give that away.
The funniest thing about it was, like, when we first did it, I'm like, oh, everyone in the league's about to call me a homer for trading for Alshon and Clement. And then, like, the more I thought about it, I'm like, wow, I can't believe I actually got him to add Diggs onto that. I like Diggs almost more than I like Mike Evans, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, Diggs is having a little bit worse than Julio, but very similar.
He's actually
because secondaries respect those guys. So when they go down, like Matt Ryan has to throw to Mohamed Sanu and other guys because he gets double teamed. Julio.
Yeah, like in the
so,
red zone.
That's what happens.
He has no touchdowns.
So he just gets all the yards, and then they have to give the touchdown to someone else.
All right, let me wait.
That's why he's bad. I'm not like it's just stupid. I don't know why people like Julio that much.
Yeah, fantasy-wise.
None of you did as much analysis on the trade that I made, and I was the one making the trade and pushing for the trade. So Bo didn't fuck me. If anything, I fucked myself. So let's get that right. Listen, okay, I would have had to start Aaron Jones, Ronald Jones, and Doug Baldwin this week. One of them got 9, and then the other would have gotten what?
Yeah.
Ronald Jones just got 1.9. Aaron Jones would be happy if he gets over 10. He's probably going to get under 10. That's just reality of it. I would have gotten absolutely fucked by Thomas, then at 1-5. Then going into a week 7 against Bo with all of my core of my team, Devontae Adams, Juju Smith, out on a bye, and Baldwin out on a bye. I would have lost that week too. I needed instant. I would have been 1-6, like game over, season's over. So I know giving away Ingram was stupid. That was my biggest mistake. I should have traded like probably 2 weeks earlier, or a week ago, and this would have been a lot better. But like at the end of the day, I had to make a move. I couldn't fall to 1-6, and I think Baldwin will still go up. But if you watch that Saints game, they're never going to use Ingram like they did with Kamara again.
I agree. I think Ingram's going to be your.
I think that's blasphemy.
Raj, did you watch that game? Every single run.
No, I watched the game. I know it was a blowout. But dude, end of the story. Like Mark Ingram was going to score touchdowns.
Okay, so is Kamara and Michael Thomas. Like that offense has so many weapons. It's so hard to rely on them for touchdowns. I couldn't do it. I had to get rid of them. I know Kamara's going to eat.
All the Rams players are doing pretty well.
Okay, but That's
And at
the
the
best
time,
team in the NFL.
at the time, TJ Yeldon was putting up RB1 numbers for 2
TJ
weeks
Yeldon
straight.
was getting fed. They literally played from behind and got
So
fucked
at
by
the time,
Dallas.
it was reasonable.
Okay, so what you did was you bought a biomedical stock at its high, and now it's going
And
to
let's
tank.
talk about this. Fournette, every single report that was out on Fournette was he's
Right.
going to be out till week 10. They have their bye week 9. Why would you bring him back 1 or 2 weeks before a bye when Yeldon's been killing it? He's also been not even anything close to above 75%. They're going to keep him out for till week 10. They've been winning. Every single report out at the time said out till week 10. I would have been absolutely gutted as a team if I waited that long. Listen, and then week 7, I would have had to start Ingram and Carry-On, which isn't bad. And then I would have had to start Ronald Jones, Kenny Galladay, and fucking Taylor Gabriel. Like, I would have gotten murdered. Like, I had to make a move.
The thing is, I agree with you. Like, I don't think it's like a horrible trade. Like, it's whatever. Like, you had to do. It's not bad.
It was horrible.
But at the same time, I don't think it's any worse than what Raji's and Sandefur's were.
Say Raji's and Sandefur's.
And that's what we're going to get on to right now.
Let's get into it. And I'll
my God.
That's horrible.
So,
Yeldon and Hyde had 10.4 points combined. Merry Christmas.
We're
Move
talking
on.
before this week. We're talking about before this week.
Exactly.
Sites, have you ever heard of selling high, buying low? Ben did the opposite.
It's 1 week, kid. Carlos Hyde had 14 carries.
You sold Doug Baldwin. On his low. You bought
9
Hyde at
points
the
isn't
very
even that
highest
much.
price.
Now, let's move
care.
on.
I can get that out of
All right.
anyone. Listen, Rodgers, I have Carry-On and Kenny Galladay that'll get me way more than that every week, so I'm fine with that.
all right.
Anyway,
so
moving on.
immediately after
You're Elon Musk.
the trade that me and us,
I'm Bezos. I'm
me
Bezos.
and Smith went, yo, shut the up. So after that went down, me and Smith, our trade went down. Then we had Raji made probably a trade that impacted the league greater than any other trade that it has in this league's history. We had Sandy, who traded him AJ Green straight up for James Conner, and this caused absolute uproar.
And let me
league.
let me just say why this is horrible. First of all, Raji, you're not Jeff Bezos. You're Kim Jong-un, okay?
Thank you.
Because you're leading, and it's just so disrespectful for you to do that type of trade, knowing perfectly damn well that when Le'Veon Bell comes back, he's going to get all the carries, maybe 5 to James Conner.
I disagree completely with that.
You know why?
I disagree. You are so brain dead if
the
you
number
think
one
that.
running back in the NFL for the last 4 years. They're not going to max out his carries. Oh, he's not going to sign with us? Well, he's going to help us win. He is showing off. He's pretty much in a tryout for the NFL right now. He's
Do
going
you
to ball
really
out.
think if Le'Veon Bell gets 25 carries in the first game that he's going to want to play for that team? This dude would not play the next week. He would be like,
I think he'll get 20 carries. And
you lost your mind if you think that.
20 carries. I think James Conner will get a nice 5.
And he'll do the same exact thing Earl Thomas did, flicking off the Steelers sideline once he tears his ACL.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen.
And then James Conner will be back in the mix.
So that's looking on a deep
betting on an
outlook.
injury.
If we're looking
That's
at
the
what's
dumbest thing
going to
ever.
probably happen, most likely, it's going to be Le'Veon's going to take all his carries by the second week he's back. Maybe 5 for James Conner.
James Conner's getting 8 to 10 carries a game, which is more than what TJ Yeldon had today.
No.
Yeah.
So you think
We
they
all,
turn
we
into
all
an
watched
Ingram
D'Angelo
Kamara
Williams.
situation?
D'Angelo Williams put up the same numbers.
This dude,
When
Le'Veon Bell,
suspended.
literally.
Le'Veon Bell was suspended for 4
not
weeks,
at all.
I believe.
D'Angelo, I want you to look it up right now. Do not tell me D'Angelo Williams had the same. He played it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that
he had 2 weeks.
That is
with 3
horrible.
touchdowns.
You are making up. That is literally fake news.
No,
That's actually fake news.
If
you're going to bring that up,
Le'Veon's been hurt multiple times. D'Angelo has come in and killed it.
I want you to look it up.
Yes, every single time.
I want you to see how many games that was.
You're thinking of 2 different seasons, Tyler.
Yeah.
He did it. He came in for 2 seasons.
please look that up.
Okay, I agree, but this dude James Conner has been a stud this whole time, literally picking it up when
He's
couldn't
been a
count
stud.
on the player who's going to leave him after this year. I don't think do you think they want to piss off James Conner and have no running back?
How about this? All right, you guys give me a range.
You lost your mind. They are going to have James Conner moving forward in the future. They will not have Le'Veon Bell. They are going to develop.
Dude, the reason he didn't play with them for week 1 was because he didn't want to get overused because he knew that they were just going to overuse him because they only had him for a year and then they're going to get rid of him so they could win. And they're going to do that for the last 8 games of the season, dude. They're not stupid. You're the best running back in the league. You're going to not play him and give James Conner? Come on.
Foolish.
Fool. They almost
Besides,
lost.
you
to
know
the
what?
Bengals,
You know what's
They
funny?
almost lost to the Bengals and Connor produced, and they almost lost to the Bengals. They need Le'Veon.
The Bengals are actually pretty good this
Yeah, they
year,
are,
so I don't know
but
what you're talking about. It was a road game as well, so I don't know where that's coming from. But James Conner had another 180 yards today, so I don't know what you're talking about. He's had like 400 yards from scrimmage in the last 2 weeks. So
he's a great player, no doubt.
And you know what?
But his situation is the whole reason why this trade is.
You know what? Will Sandifer, guess how many points he had this week? 67. How much did Tyler Lockett and James Conner have? 35. They scored half of his
points.
That's
You threw in Lockett, dude.
That's a different trade, sir.
Yeah, we'll get back into that.
Minus the Lockett. 25 of 67. I mean, do the math. That's like that's over 1/3 of his points.
Playing. The week after that.
And also Calvin Hook.
Probably only going to have 5 or 6.
Who cares? Who cares if he's not playing next week? If he's 1-5, he's eliminated. He actually has a chance now. He's going to be 2-4.
He's not. So he maybe has a chance for 1 win, and going forward, he doesn't.
He was doing the same thing.
First of all, I don't know.
Win now. I get it that he didn't know that Le'Veon's coming back, but he's still trying to win now, and he's gonna maybe win this week because of that, which he definitely wouldn't have without him.
I offered him.
He would have had 48 points. He would have had 48 points this week without James Conner.
1 week, and then he's done.
Cool, 1 week. 1 week when you're 1-4. Ben, you traded for TJ Yeldon
having 48 points because you would have had AJ Green.
You got for some reason I don't know what your guys' obsession with AJ Green is. Him and Tyler Boyd on the same team. Tyler Boyd is getting more targets per game. AJ Green is not the holy savior.
Dude, he's a top 10 receiver.
You guys are so obsessed with big names. You're like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let me also.
It's not the fact. If it would have been to someone else.
Look, I don't care. Look, I don't care about you guys disrespect, like saying, "Oh, it's a bad trade." But at the end of the day, like calling for a veto, that's sickening because two managers.
Let me just say,
the way I look at it,
if it wasn't sickening, 2 people wouldn't have left the group chat. It would have been like a little bit of an argument.
First of
it's
all,
opinion.
Oh, 2 people, little Smithy left the group chat. I really agree with him.
Little girls, and we'll get to that.
I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm just saying it caused that much of a feud because that many people knew it was that bad.
I don't care. The two top teams actually are being compromised of a championship. That's why they're leaving the group chat. You don't think there's a correlation there?
Here's the thing.
It wasn't just them two.
Wait, first, heads up. D'Angelo Williams, the year when he started the most on the Steelers, he actually ended up starting 10 out of 16 games and still finished with 900 yards and 11 touchdowns. If I would take that on my fantasy team every single week, and it was spread out throughout the season, all 10 through 16 or 1 through 16. Like it wasn't all in 1 week. So if James Conner can put up 900 yards and 11 touchdowns,
but was that
when
Le'Veon was suspended?
You guys are morons.
You guys are morons. The fact that it's a bad trade, like yes, it's a bad trade for Sandy. Like it didn't like Austin's getting a better deal on that based on if Le'Veon comes back or not. But it's not bad enough to cause 2 people to act like little kids and leave the league.
I didn't say that. When did I say
agree with that. Yeah, when did we say that?
Thank you, Cooper. Let's speak. Let Cooper speak. Let Cooper speak.
All right, the way I see it is
veto. That's why it won 10-2 in the veto.
Hey Ben, guess what? You traded Tom Brady for Randy Moss in 2011.
It's the fact. Well, first of all, let's put this out here too.
You traded a top 5 wide receiver for a quarterback.
The greatest.
Are you kidding me? That went through.
Wait.
All time.
Tom Brady, dude. Oh my God. Okay, now that because it's Tom Brady, it's fine. Okay, Cooper speak.
For what's his name? Zach's dude, Mahomes. You gonna trade for Mahomes with D'Angelo or DeAndre Hopkins?
It's all
yeah, should I trade DeAndre Hopkins for Patrick Mahomes? Hey, should I trade Hopkins for Patrick Mahomes?
And it would actually be fair.
Shut the.
Oh,
if you didn't have a good quarterback,
Cooper, I think
starting back off the waivers that's going to do better than Mahomes.
I think my point has been proven. Okay, by that horrible comment. I picked up Jameis Winston off waivers. How much points did he get, Cooper? 30. Cooper, I want to hear Cooper's opinion.
I don't even know. This trade is not even that entirely bad at all. Oh, holy voice crack. But like when 2 players make a trade, it's literally in their own good faith, and you got to just trust that they're trying to make their own team better. And like if you're about to leave the league over some if you think it's unfair or something, that's just childish, and you can't let that happen. Like you need to respect the decisions of the other league members, and end of the day, it's just.
Dude, Sandy
is.
He didn't even know.
It's business, Cooper. Cooper,
No,
it's
let me
business.
talk. Rodgers, you've talked this whole time. Let me talk about this trade. Here's the cold hard fact: Sandifer did not know. Like I agree with what we're saying now. When you throw in Lockett, I'm happy with it because like information is known. It's Sandifer's. Listen,
Yeah,
bro,
I'm glad you're
let
happy with
someone
it. You got what you
talk,
want.
bro.
I vetoed a trade for you.
Right. Listen,
Yeah. come
Sandifer
on.
had no idea that, and this is, I'm not saying that this is like the reason, whatever. I'm saying he did not know that James Conner was. So that's like entering into a business deal not knowing half the information. This man did not know that Bell's coming back next week.
If you
Or
sign a
next-
deal without,
I know,
if you
I
sign
know.
a business deal without knowing, then you're just an idiot, and that's
Exactly.
that company's still gonna screw you over, and they're still gonna thrive. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what they do. Yes, I did say that it should be vetoed, which at the time, with the quick thinking, yes, I thought it should be
'Cause
vetoed, and it is very unfair with Lockett. So what ended up happening
Right.
was they renegotiated, they added Lockett to the deal, so we got Lockett and Connor for
I'm fine with that. I'm fine
AJ
with
Green, which also for the record, it was after that when Smith and Bo left.
that. Right. So I was
After.
fine with that because Sandifer accepted a deal. I know you didn't have to give him the benefit of the doubt to like redo a deal, but I'm saying like he now knows the information and now he can make it clear. Like you know what I mean? Then it's like that's why I used the word scummy a bunch because he did not know, and we all know that he is a manager that would not know a lot of things until.
But I would assume he would at least click the little star at the side of the player and be like, "Oh shit, Le'Veon's coming back in a couple weeks."
Right. So that's why I was heated on both sides because I knew Sandifer did not know that. And I knew that he was entering into a new trade just to make someone happy so the league didn't like freak out. And that's how I was like, that's kind of some BS. I'm not saying that's on Rodgers' side or on Sandifer's side. I'm just saying the whole deal itself is kind of on some like weird, I don't know. The terms of it were accepted at the end of the day to keep the league happy. And I don't think that's the reason the trade should go through. So I was
Dude,
Well, you know what the rule is going to be moving forward? Point blank. No trades are vetoed unless two teams are cheating.
no.
Because this is complete bull.
Right.
Everything that
I
happened in
don't
this
think
league.
a trade would ever happen again that needs to be vetoed unless it's like if it would have been any other manager, I probably would have not been as mad because I've been like,
Right.
okay,
I agree.
when it's Will Sandifer, who we all know, I'm sorry, he even knows it. The man doesn't check his stuff until an hour before. Like trades used to expire on that man's account. They used to start building up tax on that man's account. Like he doesn't check it. This is ridiculous. The man never looks at the thing. So like that's where I was like, all right, bro. Like I don't think you were like trying to like hope he didn't read it or anything like that. But like I don't know. I just thought it was I used the word scummy just because I don't think you think Connor has any value going forward, and you're going to keep stressing how good he did today. And I do think he'll get probably at most 8 touches moving forward. But I know you in your heart do not think that he's going to be good. And when you were backing it up, that's what pissed me off. Listen, that's what pissed me off. I don't care about your trade. When you actually backed him up, I was like, I don't think you believe that, and that's what made me mad. So if I freaked out, that was what pissed me off.
Okay, you know what? First of all, what you're saying is, why would I trade a player that I think is going to be good?
No, I know.
moving
I'm not
forward?
saying that. That's not.
That's not the point of a trade. This isn't like a socialist. This isn't a socialist league where everyone just goes, "Hey, let's have equal
Never
trades."
said.
So it's all
I
you know.
clearly just made
You
a
give me a
horrible
player.
point, right?
This is not a socialist league. I sent a trade. I also sent a trade to other people with Connor. I talked to Tyler about James Conner.
He did.
People were interested in James Conner,
Yeah.
including
Yes.
Tyler.
I will say, yeah, it's not a
And-
socialist league.
And you are going to be, and you're going to be sad
Hold on,
because
when
you know
were
what?
these deals?
If something happens and James,
It's not a.
I'm not telling you the
Exactly.
specifics,
Exactly.
but Tyler was offering me a
Back
good
when he
amount.
had relevancy. He doesn't
Tyler,
have any,
could you-
after this week, I think his stock.
What do you mean relevancy? It was
I asked
last
you when you
week.
talked about these trades, you go, I'm not going to tell the specifics. How did I know it was last week?
Because it's probably like.
I don't talk
Okay, so I
specifics.
just asked you when it was, and you said, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. And then you just said last week. So how was I supposed to know that?
I'm not telling you the specifics of the players. You didn't say.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
was
hear you say
curious.
when.
Obviously, Connor, if you could have gotten him for more than 1 or 2 games, the trade is way different. But when it's the week before Le'Veon comes back, that's what sparked the controversy, and that's why so many people got heated. Like that's what I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I'll say this.
You know,
It's not a socialist league, so the only reason I got upset was because when we called for a veto and it was clearly voted that should be vetoed a trade, and you stood by.
Right.
that trade wasn't
What
biased.
do you mean, dude?
Oh my
What do you mean?
God.
If everyone votes, if it's a clear vote, then like you should veto
You
the
know how
trade.
many? Wait, you realize how many yes votes you got, right? You got 6 yes votes. You didn't even get a majority. You
Everybody
got
commented
6.
veto, though. Everybody commented veto.
Yeah,
Even,
even
like,
Tyler
Riddler-
said veto. Even Tyler
You got
said veto.
6. You didn't even get 7. You didn't even get the majority of the league.
Podcast right now said that it should be a veto.
Rogers, there's probably 150 messages. I guarantee nobody looked through to look at that poll. That's why it was only 6.
I know you guys are mad that I made my team better, but at the end of the day,
You
I
did.
made my team better.
That's
Fair
okay.
trade after
That's
giving
a
away
fair trade,
Lockett.
Exactly.
Also, yeah, Austin did go through. It wasn't like Austin was like, "Screw you guys!" Like I'm not vetoing it for what. Like I get, like everyone wants to do it, and he ended up renegotiating it. So
Yeah,
like,
and
that should have been it.
Right.
But then after all that is when things went to shit. When
Right.
two childish managers, two childish managers
Look.
acted like they just like. Their parents just like kicked them out into the cold because they realized that they're gonna have other competition in the league. After one, Bo fucked Ben over in a trade and got the best squad in the league. Austin now has Hopkins, Michael Thomas, and AJ Green, so he got scared that he's no longer gonna win this money. Smith feeling salty after watching Alshon catch 2 touchdowns and watch Clement rush for one. And they both got pissed because they saw that they're losing control of the league. And then they left this league. And then they're acting like little kids and have yet to join back.
I have to say that
Well said.
after it was vetoed and the trade was renegotiated, I did not comment in that group chat. I was perfectly cool with what happened.
Right.
And
Look,
I think Raji got. And
look, I had no problem.
That's fine. Moving
That's
forward.
fine. That's fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine with you raping people, Rodgers. I don't care.
But the original was scary.
I had no problem. I had no problem with the way Jake approached it, Tyler approached it, Cooper approached it. But Ben attacking my character, Bo attacking my character.
You were lying. You were
And
lying.
Thomas Smith.
I don't expect that. I don't expect that.
Ben 4. Guess what?
Go ahead.
I was not lying. James Conner is better than your number 1 running back.
Let's
Moving talk forward, about
it. Moving forward, no. This week, yes. I agree.
You're speculating. You guys do realize Le'Veon hasn't even told the Steelers he's coming back yet,
communication
right?
with the Steelers currently. Fact.
Did you guys know that? Did you research that?
He tweeted
What, on
that.
Twitter?
He has yet
On
to
Twitter?
talk to a single person.
So if he
He's
never
gonna
shows
play.
up,
He's gonna
then
play.
if he never shows up, Sandiford trade raped you, Raji.
And you made the
Possibly,
worst pick.
If he never shows
Fan
up-
sites.
And Raji would be pissed. Raji
would never do that.
Expected.
And you know what? If that happens, I will literally take Lockett off his team and I will delete him off the
Whoa.
ESPN website.
Let's talk about
I don't
it.
think
Because
Matthew
that is-
Berry
that's
would be,
where-
happy about that.
That sounds straight Kim Jong-un. Holy cow.
Oh, Kim Jong-un. Dude, you were like Canada whining about a bad trade deal.
Whining, but our whole league voted. The country voted. And our manager, who we trusted, did not get back to us on anything that was going on. The trade
You
almost
trusted?
went through.
Oh, because
All
I'm a
right,
manager,
so
I
LeBron
can't make
James
trades.
Let's move on.
Exactly.
No. First, we got to talk about one of the managers that left, Bo.
Yeah.
Not only was this the first time
Yeah.
he threatened to leave the league, because if this bullshit trade goes through, this is the second time he's threatened to leave the league. First time for a little discussion over league entry fees that got heated, but he's the only manager in the history of EO12 who threatened to leave a league mid-season.
That man is a hothead.
Literally out of nowhere. Raji was like, yo, Bo, what do you think about this? This is bull. This goes through, I'm leaving. This is scummy. I'm out.
Yes, that's basically what he said, literally. To my, at my character. It wasn't fantasy.
He knows he's
Well, that was the biggest thing. Like,
I
no
think
one
everyone
was
just
saying
knew
anything to
Sandiford's
Sandy.
stupid.
It's like, I've sent trades to Tom. Like, I've sent, trades to Tom, like Amari Cooper and Corey Davis for David Johnson as a complete joke, knowing damn well that it's not going to get accepted. But if Thomas accepted it, I'd be hype about it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not going to
true.
get mad.
Exactly. And somebody in this group chat sent me a horrible, disgraceful trade. I'm not going to name them. But if I would have accepted it, what? I'm a socialist economy. Do I have to deny it or something?
Podcast right now.
Yes.
It's me.
What was it? Say it.
You know,
I don't know. I just threw out some garbage trades that, well, not garbage trades, but ground feeling trades just to
Does
test
Raji
the
have
waters.
permission- does Raji have
you got the
permission to say it?
conversation.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
First of all, it was it kind of sparked conversation. I will say that's a good. I don't mind people sending me bad
So
trades.
we've
I'm not going to
all
accept
offered
them.
bad trades.
but I
We've
will.
all seen bad trades be offered
Yeah.
to us. We just look at them and go, what
Right.
the hell?
Yeah, and then you
Fine.
counter offer.
I don't know exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know exactly what it was, but it was somebody for Hopkins. I think it might have been an RB2 or 3 for Hopkins.
I think it was one of your wide receivers, either Michael Thomas or Hopkins, for Peterson and Crabtree or someone, or even like Royce Freeman and like Crabtree or Crowder.
Yeah, not horrible, but bad.
I think it was worse than that, but that's fine. That's
It
fine.
could have been.
I just remember reading it, and I'm like, nah. But it's fine. Like, that sparks conversation. Then I texted Cooper.
Yeah.
We almost made a deal.
For a
But,
fact, every time I get a trade, no matter what the offer is, afterwards I look at that person. I'm like, oh, who could I trade for? They're obviously looking to trade. Let's look what they got.
So let's move on to the two
Yeah.
kids that left the league. Let's stick to that.
I officially just lost. Edelman just scored. My life's over. So my trade is for nothing now. So maybe you're right. Maybe I can get fucked up.
Yes, thank you, Ben. Thank you for admitting that.
I mean,
Now,
just because I needed to win this week. The whole reason I did the trade is to win this week. And now that I lost, now it's like, okay, now it's like for nothing.
Well-
so, that's tough.
Does anyone have any
in
more
5.
comments on Bo or Thomas?
I will
Yeah,
say
Thomas
this. I will
Smith.
say this.
Thomas Smith got really mad when I talked about his trade. I think that's what really did him in.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Literally immediately after you
He was
started
watching
saying
all the
shit.
players go off.
Yeah, as soon as you mentioned
What
my
did I-
trade, he was like, dude, you're a little kid. Like, you're childish. Like, stop.
I will say this: emotions were very high that night on everybody's part. Things were handled poorly by me, by a lot of different people in the chat. I was happy with the restructure. And then everything was good there. And then I think once that trade went down, we started talking about that. That's why Thomas left. I think Bo probably looked at the scummy trade that I thought we all thought, at the first one, didn't read all the context of the rest of us, and just had an anger rage quit type thing, and just jumped out. Like, I don't think he thinks I'm actually out this league. I think he says very bold things, and then afterwards hopes that it'll calm down. Like, I don't know. I don't think
They
he's
have
actually
not
gonna
tried
leave
to
the
get back in the group chat, though, as far as I know of.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to apologize to me for calling me a scummy person or whatever. But at the end of the day, those two scumballs are probably messaging their mom about fantasy. Those two scumbags are probably messaging their moms about
I'll say
fantasy football. Right
they
now.
also after leaving the league, they came up with the biggest trade of the year, where they traded Philip Lindsay for Kiki Cutie, and I think it should be vetoed. To be honest, it's a little unfair.
Should I have vetoed
I
that?
think
Be
it should
honest.
have. There's no way that was fair.
I don't know why.
For the character, do it for the
understand it.
character.
I did.
I should have vetoed it and then just did a manual switch of the players on their teams.
I will say I just see Thomas Smith tweet way more often because he knows he doesn't have any.
He doesn't have anywhere to
Oh.
vent. He can't vent into the group.
His tweet count went up by an average of 4 more per day.
Oh, wow.
So the
Wow,
one
okay.
player,
But,
one player is probably the least confrontational in the league, but maybe some people might think that could be the biggest fraud of the league. Austin Soul. Let me just say, this guy's in first place right now, 4-1. But I lost him. I can't really talk much, but I see this dude starting Austin Eckler, Robbie Anderson, Mohamed Sanu, Marshawn Lynch.
I dropped Robbie
Kamara's on a
Anderson
bye.
3 weeks ago.
Tyler, you know what it is. He has Kamara and Thielen.
Yeah, that's true. They go off every single week. They get him that base that he needs. Goff goes off too.
And I think Sanu, dude, he's kind of vultures Julio's touchdowns.
100%.
There's a little upside with.
He had one today.
But I smoked Soul last week. He's going to lose this week. I'm going to be an outright first. And the two scumballs who left the league. And, well, first of all, can we get into the topic of, is it acceptable to threaten to leave the league twice? Once over an entry fee and the second time over a trade?
That's bad.
I think it's fine to threaten that. I don't think it's that bad, but
I don't think you should
if
be
you're actually
threatening it.
if you're serious, just do it. Stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Threatening, just do it.
But also, it's not really a threat. If he's like, hey, guys, if I was yo, if you guys move to 100, I'll probably be out. That's not like a threat.
The way he was saying it was.
Yeah, and he
was,
left the group chat.
threatening
No, I
it.
know.
at
I
the
agree.
same
I
time.
agree. Right.
But also, let me just say, I'm about to
just saying, if
smack
someone-
Smith's squad with Amari Cooper and Sammy Watkins both scoring 0, and then I'm gonna score 100 and probably 20-something points, and then input Alshon, Clement, and Diggs into that lineup.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is lethal right now.
Will Smith win another game this year?
Wait, Tyler, who did you get Matt Ryan from?
I traded Mike, and literally I had zero communication. Text or just send a trade to Mike. I was like, Geronimo Allison and Kenny Stills for Matt Ryan. And people thought, yo, Roger, you thought that was a horrible trade for me. And even Smith was like, you're panicking, bro. I'm like, dude, I'm not starting Case Keenum at quarterback. I need Matt Ryan. I need someone.
Look, when you name a player in the group chat, and if Thomas doesn't like him, he will call him trash. And even if you provide stats like Isaiah Crowell,
you will be then called brain dead.
People will deny it. But this is a serious question. Will Thomas Smith win another game this year after getting gutted?
I don't think so. I want to see what his starting lineup's going to be. It's not a good squad. And honestly,
Todd Gurley helps him out a lot.
Yeah, he'll win.
He's got the Gurley and Rodgers and Mike. Well, Mike Evans is dropping off now without Fitzpatrick.
But Rodgers even hasn't.
Julio Jones. Yeah, dude, his team is not looking good. It's not looking good.
His running backs are going to be Gurley and Kenyon Drake. This dude Kenyon Drake he's been probably the biggest disappointment out of any player I've drafted in fantasy.
Tyler, did you see Frank Gore broke 100 yards today?
Did he? I'm not surprised. Kenyon Drake, 13 carries, 57 yards.
Frank Gore had 12 carries for 101.
Damn.
And then at his receivers,
he didn't fumble.
Mike Evans, Julio, and Jordy Nelson, maybe. Yeah, Jordy Nelson. If he starts him at the slot, that's not a good squad.
LeBron James' antics. We talk about LeBron James.
Yeah, a little bit off the league here. Talking about someone, probably the biggest athlete, like the most popular athlete we talk about, LeBron James, came out at Drake's concert last night with Travis Scott, and I just have to say that's probably the hypest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That is the only good thing he's done.
That was so hype. But yeah, he's been.
Dude, you know what? Tyler and Ben, it's very hype, but at the same time, can we all admit that's just bandwagon 101?
Since he's moved to LA, this dude's like, I'm done. I'm not working like I did in Cleveland. I'm about to be a star.
He stopped, and I don't know. Not my LeBron James. # not my LeBron.
Not my LeBron. Not my LeBron either. Not my LeBron.
Like, I don't know. Michael Jordan was like a beast and then stayed quiet, and so he's like kind of turned into a legend. LeBron's just like tweeting all the time now, retweeting random fans that are commenting about his HBO documentary or show. It's just like
good
advertising
show, by the way.
Like he's admitting that he's like trying to make a name for himself in LA, like, and it just seems really stupid.
Oh, he's selling out right now for sure. He's like, screw it.
He's already the best player. I don't get why he thinks he needs to become famous or something. It doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't say he's trying to become famous. I think he's trying to enjoy life out there and just take an easy season rather than like in Cleveland where he's got to carry the entire load. Now he can just lay back and just live life in LA.
I'm kind of led by LeBron. Always seems to be like whoever's like highest up at the moment. LeBron is always like, whoever's peaking in the career, whatever profession it is. LeBron's always like, oh, I love this person. Like, I love this person. And then you see him taking like a video or an interview with him, and you go, LeBron, come on, man.
Also, I just want to I throw in there. Michael and Zach both said in the group chat that Michael thinks Soul is a fraud. And Lim thinks he's a level 2 contender, not top tier, but has some firepower to contend.
No, I think he should not make playoffs, but he got those early wins.
I think he's gonna make. I think he deserves to make playoffs.
His team.
I think his team's actually
look at his team.
Solid. I personally think
Eckler, Robbie,
Thielen,
Anderson,
Lynch. Yeah, but he had Kamara.
Yeah, I guess he had a bad
and Freeman. He also has Freeman.
Yeah, he does. He does actually have it.
The squad's not bad. He should make playoffs, but I don't think he's I agree with Zach. I think that's right.
Question. What about Zach Lim's team?
I mean, what the GOAT whisperer?
Yeah. What do we think about his team?
Side note, before we talk about Zach's team, NFL Sunday, Zach is out there petting goats at a petting zoo on NFL Sunday. So we're not really sure what that's about. So we're gonna call him the GOAT whisperer.
I think
Zach's team's good.
He's good. He's not going to go anywhere top 3, but he'll make playoffs and probably be in maybe a semifinals. But if Sony Michael continues, that's an RB1 right there. Hunt's playing pretty well. I'm not sure what he's doing today, but I don't know.
He's doing good.
Well too.
Yeah, Collins did okay.
Yeah, today he had a good one because he had 2 touchdowns, but he had 19 carries for 54 yards.
Dude, okay. Would you say Hyde is a better Collins? Yes or no?
Yeah, he's
same. You have them in the same tier.
Similar. I mean, they're similar efficiency. Just that Hyde gets more touchdowns and a little more carries.
I really do. Moving forward, I seriously think they're similar. I'm not even being biased. I think they're like
Who?
basically the same.
I mean,
running back. They're
Collins
not
gets
really
more
good
touchdowns.
runners.
Hyde and Collins.
Yeah, Collins gets more touchdowns, so he gets
Yeah,
more
he does.
points, but
Jameis
he gets less
Winston-
carries.
Jameis Winston went off today. I did not see that. Raji started Jameis Winston.
Dude, I started whoever's hot. I knew Marlon Mack was coming back today. I started him. 95 yards,
Dang.
boy.
At my expense.
You dropped.
Yeah.
Oh,
All I know
Henry's
is
like-
I made the trade and Hyde had his worst game of the year, so of course it's going to look horrible on this podcast. But I think give it another 4 or 5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks, you're gonna be out of the damn playoffs. You have one win.
I'm winning by then. What do you mean, sir? Fournette's
You don't
back.
have Ingram anymore. You sold him
but can
for
we?
a bag
Dude,
of chips.
Sandifer's team is in 12th place, and it's so far from 11th place. Like,
I just
Right,
want to
if you
say
look at
that
my
Smith, literally last week, Smith told me that I would probably lose to Sandifer, and now I beat his team by 20.
because he
depending
made
on
that
Rodgers
trade.
does.
Because he made that trade.
I'm smoking his ass with the team he said that to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the trade hasn't gone
Melvin
through
Gordon's
yet.
just crazy.
He is literally.
Tyler's team is back, dude. I
Baltimore
said it in the chat
defense,
multiple
21.
times. Tyler Eisman made a terrible trade with Jake, and he revived himself.
It
I've
was a
never seen
horrible
anything
trade.
like this.
I've been working on trades since.
This is what great managers do. Tyler knew what he needed to do. He did it. That's crazy. Welcome back to the
Appreciate
playoffs,
it.
Tyler.
Respect.
Last thing I'll say about my trade. Last thing. Okay, even if Hyde, let's say Hyde sucks, he starts losing touches, I still have Carry-On and Kenny Galladay as a flex and RB2. Like, poor RB2, but like Carry-On still can get you anywhere between 9 and like 12, which is what I can take from RB2. Like, I was getting that. I mean, I don't know. I just think it pays off at the end.
I mean, you still got the waiver wire too, so I mean, you're not completely screwed. But 1 and 5 is a hole.
My last thing.
1 and 5, you
guys
almost have
think,
to win out. You can maybe lose one more.
Who do you think the last person? Like, what do you think that 7th place number? What do you think their record will be? That like last person in the playoffs.
Yeah.
6 and
Right
7
around
are-
500, maybe one
It's
more
always
loss.
6 or 7 wins.
Okay, I can get there. I think I can get there.
And because I think Sandifer is going to be a punching bag, I think it's definitely going to be 6 and 7. There's even a chance of
So
7.
Sandy's
say-
about to have
You
this
think?
license.
But no, because
Thomas Smith and Thomas Girdler both get to play Sandy twice on their
That's
schedule.
big. I have yet
Yeah.
to play Sandy.
I play him next week without James Conner.
I haven't played him either.
That's big for you.
I will say the top 4 worst. I think the worst 4 teams right now are Will Sandifer, Ben Four, Cooper Henry, and Mike Girdler.
I got Sandy in week 9.
I'd agree.
And I think I'd agree.
Can we agree with that? Those are the 4
I
that
agree
should not
fully.
make playoffs.
But I will sneak in.
Yeah.
But you took an L. You're
Thomas's
taking an
squad
L.
is completely dependent upon a couple players on his team.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
agree.
very inconsistent. I think he couldn't make a run to make playoffs, but I don't think he can make a run in the playoffs because if they have one bad week, then he's screwed.
Thomas Girdler or Smith?
Girdler.
Yeah. Smith too. Now that you made that trade, he might struggle.
I think he's not going to be good. I think he's going to be in trouble. Sammy Watkins
I
doesn't
think-
have a catch this game.
I could see.
I think if you
you
cut
named-
the
you
season in
named-
half, and you look at my team, I'll be at the top tier at the second.
Kenyon Drake, 58 yards.
I don't know, dude.
But will it
I
be
mean, Ben,
enough?
I respect
Will
it.
it
If
be
you
enough?
do it, I respect
Probably
it. But
not.
I've
Probably not.
heard. Look, Ben, you've had a couple of tough losses. I do agree, but I have heard that you're going to keep winning and winning. I haven't seen it.
I know because I have Fournette will continue to marinate on my bench. That's why I had to get some help.
But
That's all I'm
Also-
saying. I don't know if I will make playoffs just because of the horrible start. But if you look at the second half of the season, I guarantee I'm in the top 3, top 4 in the league. That's my prediction.
I think you should have
Well,
wrote
that
it
doesn't
out
do
with Ingram.
anything for you.
Well, I mean that's all. What do you want
Nah,
me to
I know.
say?
Say that you had a terrible year. Admit you had a terrible year.
I mean,
It's not over till
yeah.
it's over. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
over
not
till
over
it's
till
over.
it's over. It's not over
Yeah,
till
you
it's
can't
over.
say
Yeah, like,
you
I
had a
don't-
terrible year.
exactly.
Like halfway through.
I believe in
he
every one of my players.
he said, Tyler, what do you want me to say? When Tyler said, "Don't do," like, what does that do for you? I'm saying if it happens, say that
If
you
what happens?
had a terrible year
I
instead
got-
of blaming injuries.
I
If
mean,
what
okay,
happens?
Fournette didn't play. Like, I don't think.
Yeah,
my
if your
team's
squad
bad.
goes off at the end of the year with your full roster right then obviously, yeah, you can be like injuries
what-
hurt you.
that's
But if
what
they
it's about,
don't, then
right?
then you had a bad year.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I go off the second half, I'll be like, well, fuck, I drafted a good ass team. I got fucked in the beginning of the season. Like, that's all I can
You
say.
didn't make moves though. You didn't make moves with Ingram on that suspension. You had to make a move there.
Debatable.
It's hindsight's 20/20, but I agree. If I were you, I probably would have had to get rid of him. That's why I offered trade for Ingram purely because I was like, you probably want to get rid of him right now since you need wins.
Yeah, I posted in the chat too.
That was a while ago, though. I mean, like, no one was going for Ingram when he was suspended.
Dude, Ben put up 103 last week and lost.
Yeah, I mean, I beat Ben when he had up 114.1.
Yeah, so those are tough losses.
Those are two bad losses.
So Ben put up 100 like the last couple weeks, and
like that's a team you can go. Okay, I can ride it out.
But that's fantasy.
No, it is. But it's not. But you can't say Ben has that bad a team. But I still think he won't make playoffs. Like he's one of the worst 4 because of his record right now.
Yeah.
But his team's not bad.
That's why I said. That's what I'm saying. Like I think I won't make. I'm in bottom 4 because of the start. But I bet you if you look at the second, like my team will produce in the second half.
Before he traded away Ingram, I thought he had a good team.
Yeah, me too. I think you actually had a reason to argue, but then when you traded Doug Baldwin and Ingram, it was just now your team.
After that, that's
one player.
Well, at the time it wasn't that bad, but now it looks horrible.
2 players. What do you mean?
At the time it was not bad.
Yo,
you can't just throw Doug Baldwin.
Listen. I only have one player that you guess is going to suck the rest of the year. That's Carlos Hyde. Everybody else is solid. They produce. Adams is a beast. Juju just went off. Like I have Kenny Golladay. Like, what do you mean? Like my team's not bad. It's just I straight up just Carlos Hyde for Ingram with the cutthroat. But like,
I just think if you compare like your team even without, if you compare like your team without injuries, if you line up your team without injuries to mine, it's just not even close.
And I mean, previously I think I disagreed before I traded away Ingram, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I have a topic.
All right, last one.
You named the bottom 4. You named the 4 worst teams. That leaves one more team doesn't make playoffs. Who is it? Everybody.
That's tough. I'm going to go with Smith.
I got Thomas Smith. I'm going Smith.
Smith or Zach?
Yeah, Smith. I'm going to go with Smith or Zach. Oh, or Thomas Gurley. I'm going to say Thomas Gurley.
Team that barely misses is Jacob Sykes.
I do too.
If I don't win, if I lose this week to Bo.
Is that what you said, Ben?
Sykes is my vote too, yeah. I think
if I lose to Bo Lineberger and somehow lose to Sandy next week, yeah. But if I win against Bo right now and then I beat Sanford, Le'Veon comes back, no way. I'm making playoffs.
Yeah, if you lose to Sandy next week, you can take that 11th place title.
Bro, shut your mouth, bro. You're led by one team. You're led by Saquon Barkley. You're backing on him getting 20.
Yeah.
Let's do. Hey, I got a little game right now, and let's do it. If Cooper Henry was not to get 20 out of Saquon Barkley, let's say that he only got 10 points out of Saquon Barkley. He would only put up like 60 points right now. 64 points.
That's your game.
64 points is what Cooper Henry would have right now.
What
if Barkley still put up
game.
10.
Yeah.
So basically, Barkley putting up.
Okay, let's do a game. If Cam Newton didn't play for you, you would have scored 60 points.
Oh, come on! I have a game. Who's the league's GOAT whisperer?
All right,
Lamb. I think it's a lamb.
All right, so that's our episode for today. Covered a lot of topics, but a lot of topics that needed to be discussed. As always, thanks for listening, and we're going to be sure to have another episode out quicker than we have in the past.